All right. Today, I'm going to talk about AI architecture, trends, and components, and share with you my personal points of view. As a frequent speaker on AI topics and LinkedIn author with some courses on generative AI, I have one in semantic kernel, another in Azure AI that should be published end of this month, and soon starting one in Agentic AI. I hope this gives me some credibility. I will not call myself an expert, as this AI world is crazy. It's super fast evolving, and this makes impossible for anybody to be an expert. But I would say I know one or two things at least. So yeah, changes. I don't need to ask you if you are familiar with ChatGPT or generative AI, and probably the terms AI orchestrator or even LangChain, and maybe semantic kernel ring a bell, if not many. By now, I'm pretty sure that you have been playing with these technologies, and I can tell you that these are the core technologies of this new generative AI world. Um, so, welcome to it. If you did not realize last year, at least in my work, I hear OpenAI, I hear ChatGPT, hi Vanshika, like every now and then. It's incredible amount of times I hear these words. So, one thing before getting to it that I love about AI is the feeling when you're doing it that it can do surprising things and it makes you feel like a magician, like orchestra director, when you're playing with literally with digital brains, right? And this is what amazed me as well. The way you have to change your mind when interacting with these components that can think on their own, and listen to these words, think on their own, and they are non-deterministic, right? So for a developer, that's something really, or an architect, it's something really strange at the beginning. It gets you this aha moment when AI delivers an unexpected yet perfect result. That is truly priceless. Already, you will agree on me that this technology AI has a incredible disruptive potential. This writing and translation industry is in shock at the moment. It was already last year. And some call centers professionals lately have already started career conversions due to the voice chat, AI voice, and voice recognition interfaces, which in some products already in the market, they are performing better than 40 and 60% of some of colleagues or people that work on it. I got myself a friend that worked in translation. Well, uh, their business has not grown the last 2 years, and I'm falling quite short. But enough talk. Let's get started. Let's take a look at the current state of AI. Oh yeah, I got some here. Disruptions. Will AI replace the writers? You search for it. AI assisted novels are winning more. AI is disrupting the billion translation industry. Well, yeah, it's quite disrupting everything that we know as complete industries. Now going to call centers. So let's on the current state of AI. I love this slide. Let's start by understanding the limitations of current AI systems. First, RAG, retrieval and generation. Through you always when you do RAG, which RAG is okay, I do some take some text, a book, or some information from your company. I put in a vector database, and through vector similarity, I try to retrieve some information through keywords. So this is often very inaccurate because how much context can we put in there in this vector database? Usually you put that, you have to split in chunks of text, which sometimes you are dividing the knowledge in different pieces. And when you are retrieving, you don't get all of them. And sometimes you retrieve the wrong one, which happens quite a lot. So RAG is really, really hard. It's getting better. We will see that in a moment. And finally, well, next, the AI is hallucinating a lot. So that's a significant issue where models generate information That seems okay, but it's absolutely not. It's absolutely made up, right? And finally, maintaining the context over long conversations. So we want more from AI. Now we have models that have 1.5 million tokens, and this trend is growing, but they keep forgetting what we told. It's like we are talking with somebody, and suddenly, hey, what did you tell at the beginning? I don't remember anything of it. So the same happens with AI. AI is different. So they have the tendency to remember what was told at the beginning and at the end, but in the middle, sometimes it forgets, right? So these are some of the limitations in here. But despite these limitations, AI continues to disrupt various fields with its potential. And it's really, really good at a couple, 3 or 4 things. One is NLP, natural language processing. This has revolutionized tasks like text summarization, translation, question answering. Sentiment analysis has also improved tremendously. So I would say now it's mostly perfect. And we have AI systems that can understand perfectly human emotions and intentions. This is known as theory of mind. And lately, very recently, it has been determined that it can also simulate and predict them. Not yet at the level of Harry Seldon psychohistory. If anybody gets and knows what I'm talking about, please raise the hand. That's very sneaky if you like science fiction like I do. And yeah, but those skills are already at human level, if not more. And finally, prompting techniques, including meta prompting, are enhancing AI responses, making interactions more relevant and precise. Next, I want to show you the Garner AI Hive, which you may recognize. Yeah. So here, you can see that it provides a snapshot for various AI technologies and in terms of maturity and adoption on the different phases. I recommend you to search for Garner AI Hub. I will not disclose or explain it in detail, but basically, you can see that composite AI and edge AI, these white ones here, are already in under 2 years, which is a plateau of productivity indicating their growing maturity in real world applicability, whatever their innovation trigger or peak of expectations, or it's this disillusionment, like more disappointment as well, but whatever. Composite AI is the combined application or fusion of different AI tactics to improve the AI solution. And it's at the center of Gen AI as we know it at the moment. And also agent-based modeling is the next wave of composite AI, which is important. I will talk a bit about that. Multi-agent systems are on the 5 to, I think, should be to 10 years. So it's on these black, and it's quite okay. I cannot find it. I swear I saw it. Uh, yeah. All right. So it's yeah. Um, Multi-agent system is on the 5-10 year horizon. Even I cannot find it. Uh, yeah, when we most need it. But it's important to see that it's 2 to 5 years. A lot of the AI technologies that you see here, it tells a lot that in 2 to 5 years, all the technologies that we know as AI will be mature. So that means that, yeah, we should get already there into learning if we are not learning them, and get our hands on it if we want to retain our skills as an architect or as a developer. As simple as that. As well, special mention to intelligent applications and knowledge graphs and cloud AI services. I'm curious as why AI engineering and Gen AI are at the top of the slope and about to go down the expectation hype here. As that's not my opinion, but that's Garner, so we should trust Garner. But yeah, to my to me personally, I would put some AI engineering on the plateau of productivity already, as partially, but I mentioned partially, take it with a grain of salt. To me, is business ready. That is the case for me in a very personal opinion with semantic kernel, but take it with a grain of salt. Not everything is ready there, but they are in a great direction. But what is in a great direction, and it's working, and it's out of experimental, it's working, and you can use it in business applications as of today. Here I put the Gartner AI hype link. I will share the links later in my Discord, and I will put, yeah, semantic kernel in this part, to my opinion, but that's completely my opinion already. Also, we can see here this is kind of a positioning of different large language models as of June 2024. This is taken from livearchitect.ai, and you can see even the last models of Opus and Sonnet, how good they score in GPQA. Yeah. This year, artificial intelligence is far smarter than humans across many metrics. I'm not saying smarter or more intelligent. I mean, they are scoring better. Hmm? So they are doing better and playing smarter than we may think. This is a GPQA. This is Google Proof Q&A benchmark. Is one of the hardest benchmarks that determines according to the score, the IQ. So at the moment, if we look at the IQ, this should be at the level of 150, which is quite impressive. Hmm. Opus and Llama are setting new benchmarks. There are more. Uh, I think a few days ago, we have the new Grok from Elon Musk, and it's about 56. So it's not yet updated, this graph. But basically, it's evolving, and this does not seem to stop this evolution of large language models. Multimodal AI models like GPT-4o are integrating text, image, audio, and even video data, opening up new possibilities for holistic and context-aware applications, including application in robotics, as we are seeing with OpenAI and other companies that are jumping in this robotic bandwagon. As AI becomes more pervasive, addressing security and ethical considerations as data protection and fairness is crucial. And finally, meta prompting is emerging as a valuable technique for guiding AI behavior and controlling it with guardrails. And this is kind of big overview of the current state of AI. So they are increasing their reasoning skills. They are increasing their multimodal skills. Yeah, and also there is this prompt engineering evolution towards meta prompting, which is nothing more than put a proper system prompt that kind of guides and protects the model, that it does not do something that you don't want to. Papers with code, dataset GPQA. See some more information on the GPQA. Is a very common framework benchmark. And let's say we have seen a bit the current trends. We are going to peek at the future trends and some of the current ones. A journey begins with the significant improvements in AI models that we just saw. As probably this will remember a song, they are getting better, faster, stronger, and also multimodal. They are not only faster, they are also more efficient. So they are a lot cheaper than they were some years ago. Multimodal capabilities, they allow them to seamlessly integrate text, image, video, audio, and other kind of data, leading to more comprehensive outputs. In near future, I expect they will combine more abilities to generate code, 3D objects, or understand 3D vision, video, and more. And they will continue to evolve. That's not stopping. It's kind of a commercial race at the moment. Additionally, the advent of natural voice interfaces like the one I'm amazed, the GPT-4o voice, that everybody's eagerly waiting for it to be mainstream as an app and API, will make AI interactions incredibly human-like, enhancing user experience through various applications. And we come to one of my favorites, agents. What are agents? I mean, AI agents. I see them as an entity which brings together some reasoning abilities determined by the model, a persona, which is a personality that determines how it reacts or he or she reacts to situation or tries to perform a task, right? I told him, hey, you are Thor, and you're giving a tool, he will try a hammer, he will try to beat and break everything and solve everything with the hammer. I give it a banana, it will try to solve everything with a banana, right? Or I give it humor. I tell, hey, your personality is humorous. Try to solve everything with humor. You guess where I'm going? As well, these agents also have tools and the ability to decide which tool to use and how. The personality can range from being friendly and conversational to analytical and precise or pragmatic if you want an agent action driven. They can interact and respond to a user or to other agents, or interact and react to the environment as well. That's an agent. Yeah, this is a tool. It should be the personality, reasoning abilities. Yeah. Then we come to agentic AI, which is when we have more than one agent working together. This is a system when multiple intelligent agents collaborate to perform complex tasks, or one task, which is complex. These agents are usually designed with concrete capabilities. So it's focus, focus, focus. This enables them to do a single task, becoming experts on it. And that's highly important because models are kind of limited and they lose context very quickly and hallucinate. So the more focus you give them, the better they will perform. And on a conversational workflow, that usually is designed around them so they can interact in a very optimized way. Usually you have to streamline to resolve a task or set of tasks together as a human team would. Some advanced agents can perform self-critic and improve over time learning, which is the case for example, AutoGen, right? This collaborative approach opens up a lot of new possibilities for automation, efficiency, and scalability in various domains. And if you think about that, it's kind of very similar workflow that you do with your ChatGPT, just that instead of you having to type, you have an agent which will type for you, for example. So it saves a lot of time. Also, it's not just me. So the CEO of NVIDIA, yeah, AIs are going to be like employees in your companies. Also, Andrew and G, yeah, if anything to keep an eye on, it's AI agents. Also, Andy and G from Deep Learning, an incredible person. AI agentic workflows will drive massive AI progress this year, perhaps even more than the next generation of foundational models. And so on, and Accenture and McKinsey, and also Bill Gates is saying that. Oh, and I could fill 3 or 4 more pages which quotes from people that apparently know what they are talking about. Not like me, like I know 2 or 3 things. But I want to show you this picture. Agentic workflows are already providing huge benefits on some tasks. For example, this is it's a comparison between GPT 3.5 and GPT 4 doing zero shot and using agent workflows, doing this human evil. Human evil is coding benchmark. GPT 3.5 has 48% accuracy, zero shot. GPT-4, it has quite a lot more, 67%. But if we apply agentic AI, a simple critic workflow, it gets up to 96%. Of course, we do that with GPT-4, it gets a bit more, like 97, 98% more or less. So you can see the amount of improvement that this is bringing. It's pretty impressive. Sources and DNG, and I took this slide from him already. Other thing that I believe is current trend and it's started to appear, it was just launched, I think 1 or 2 weeks ago from LangGraph was launched, I think. It's graph-driven agents, so representing agent and agent workflows like a graph, a node and a vector that determines a direction. And this is the way architectonically to define properly um, agentic workflow, which involves two or more agents. Using graph structures with nodes and edges, the interactions between agents can be perfectly mapped and providing some benefits like cycles, controllability, and persistence, which enable loops, conditionals, and also keep a state after each step, which is good if we want to know what happened and why something happened, right? For business perspective, we would like to see why this failed and why did it succeed, so we can do backtracking and control how things are working, which is pretty cool. Also, we have GraphRAG. To solve this hallucination process of retrieving the wrong chunks, a graph approach to do RAG, retrieval augmented generation, is an innovative way that combines the strength of graph structures, creating something called knowledge graphs. Basically, it has the previous implementation of vector RAG databases has limited contextual understanding, lacks scalability, and is very limited in real scenarios. GraphRAG does its magic by creating relations between the data chunks, creating a knowledge graph that interconnects them, uh, indexes them, and organizes the data hierarchically in semantic clusters, and thus searchable and connecting basically everything. Of course, this is computationally very expensive, but also very successful, like day and night in RAG, and seems to be having a lot of success. Another one is distributed agentic AI. So taking AI agents and thinking how will they run at scale? How can we enable efficient collaboration across multiple locations, maybe in the cloud, maybe in local, and how can we achieve this desire of having fault tolerance and robustness? It sounds familiar, right? I'm talking like a distributed application in the web. So the same is for agentic AI. This setup allows for real-time collaboration as well, making ideal for applications that require continuous, distributed, and parallelized processing, such as smart grids and global monitoring systems. Just to put an example, the side attributes for this approach include being distributed, scalable, and both cloud and local ready. Even the first attributes mostly appear in the cloud. Key technologies that I see that will support this idea, and these are important, is actor pattern, kind of, for example, I would say Orleans. I mean, I know a lot about Azure, and I know it's widely used. It's one of the best actor patterns. So I would say this is one to properly consider, and then approach for graph and microservice architecture. But we have to see how this evolves and maybe explore a bit LangGraph. So scalable, efficient collaboration, cloud ready, resilient, actor pattern based, and kind of akin to microservices. That's what I would like. And of course, more important for a company, resilient. And that's it. We are going to kind of in almost last part, which is AI architecture. How can we, with all we have seen, the current AI components and the future ones, how can we map them into AI architecture? Mhm. So first, I want to start by understanding the role of AI in modern architectures. My point of view is that just as databases and API systems were revolutionary in their time, AI is emerging as a crucial component in today's technological landscape. And these AI components, such as models as a service and AI orchestrators, are seamlessly integrating into existing architectures, enhancing functionality and enabling new possibilities, like literally connecting a brain that does a concrete thing to your application. It's something you can do since last year. I done that, so can you. I put here some links if you're curious. That's not it. So one of the key components in modern AI architecture is model as a service. And to my opinion, this allows AI model to be accessed as a service. When you connect to Azure AI service, you connect to Google, AWS, or directly to OpenAI, you are connecting to a service in the cloud, right? This approach, to me, is not only enhances scalability, makes it easier to update and manage um, in a way that they remain effective and relevant. And I see that in a C4 syntax, which I love, and I hope you are familiar with it, as another simple component, right? To me, this is nothing more than an external software system. If we are seeing here one system diagram. Then we have the component, I call it AI Orchestrator. For me, that would be either LangChain, either semantic kernel, or anything that is managing an AI to get something done, right? And you put that as a component somewhere in your architecture. To me, that's an AI orchestrator. And this plays a crucial role in managing and coordinating the different AI components within an architecture. So to me, is if you see a component diagram, I kind of put it here in this case, component AI orchestrator. So that's kind of my approach when I do that in C4 syntax, which I particularly love. And they ensure that the different services work together efficiently, optimizing performance and integration, and act as the central nervous system of an AI-driven architecture, managing the workflows, delegating the work to, in this case, to the AI service, which can be in the cloud or can be deployed in a Kubernetes cluster or wherever you want it to be, depending on your data policies. Here, we can observe this internal component and also the component that we saw before. Very simple, right? And I don't think it takes more. And then there are two questions that I got from a good friend. How do you test a non-deterministic system such as AI? Hmm. Well, to me, it's clear. Testing AI system is a critical aspect of ensuring the reliability. So if you do AI, you should test it, right? But how, given their non-deterministic nature? Traditional testing will fall short. It requires specialized testing frameworks. And these must account for the variability in the AI outputs. So ensuring that the systems perform consistently and accurately under different conditions. Essentially, simply said, you test AI with AI to assess this variability and understand the outcome, and if it matches expected one within a range, of course. So nothing strange here. And then security, which is quite key. Security is paramount to AI system to ensure alignment and proper behavior. Techniques like meta prompting, which I mentioned, this is a prompt engineering technique to structure system prompts to help guide AI responses, reducing the risk of inappropriate or misleading outputs, and of course, avoiding potential manipulations, kind of a jailbreak, for example. Additionally, specialized security solutions are essential to protect against issues, kind of hallucinations and jailbreaks. I think a few months ago, airline um, went had to give an incredible offer that their chatbot proposed to a customer because the bot seemed to have legal commitment. So he said, "Yeah, I give you that for $5," and he got like kind of a incredible flight to somewhere, and they had to comply. So I would be careful because if somebody derives your chatbot into selling one of your cars, if you're selling cars for $10, maybe it's a good idea to put a meta prompt there, right? And secure that and put some guardrails and avoid some manipulations of evil customers, so customers that want to have fun. This another approach for meta prompting, aside from keep putting a strong meta prompt, which is a system prompt with additional layers, is to put a modifiable agents that do a supervision on the input and on the output. So these agents cannot be manipulated, cannot be modified, and only have to access this input and the output. So to ensure that they are safe. And this input and output verification adds an extra layer of security and of course complexity and processing, but I think it's better that you're safer, right? I think I put an example here, and I think I put a link. No. But if you look for Microsoft Meta Prompt template, you will find it definitely already. And then to finish it a bit, let's take a look a bit at a couple of more things. I would like to share a bit my vision on AI agents in this case. We will soon be able to instantiate teams of AI agents to perform advanced tasks at the scale. Of course, technology has to evolve, so it's already doing so with LangGraph. Probably it will soon evolve in um, semantic kernel. So yesterday in the office hours, it's if you're curious, probably it's already available. The team announced a roadmap for agents, and it involves graphs as well. And also they are adopting the Creo AI way, which is task driven. I think it's not that nice, but very efficient for simple tasks. But if they manage to combine both of them, it will be good. But I think it's pretty interesting to check that out. But it's going in a nice direction, and there are a lot of changes. They are aiming for the Ignite, Microsoft Ignite timeline, which is amazing. But what I'm talking about is not 2 or 3 agents or 5 or 6 or 10, which we can have now, but having hundreds collaborating seamlessly. And this capability will revolutionize how we approach complex problems and will be a game changer, a disruptor for in many industries, if not all. And here is my call to action to embrace and implement AI. The call to you is to embrace this feature. Large language models will continue to improve significantly in collaboration with Agentic AI, which you've seen what's the improvement over what a model can do, right? From 48 to 94% in accuracy in one of the hardest coding benchmarks, human evil that we saw at the beginning. However, um, this means that in collaboration with Agentic AI, they will be able to achieve amazing things autonomously. So chances are that we will put a PBI and it will be done by itself, and it will require very small or not too much supervision. But however, someone will need to design and implement these agents along with the guardrails and quality controls and fine tune them regularly. And to ensure they do what they are supposed to do, nothing evil, and do not deviate from that. This is where you, as a generative AI expert or developer or generative AI architect, may come in. We need to learn how to set up and manage those teams of AI agents and all the relevant components and skills. You need to learn generative AI, how to manage and orchestrate AI agents and teams of agents, and do so as a good team lead does. It's not just development, it's just you have to think as a manager when you do that. It's kind of it blows your mind, the things you have to have in at the same time, but it's also very exciting when you see that they do what they are expected. You have to become and think like a manager, plan as an architect, and understand each component in detail, and more fun, its personality as well. People management skills alone are not enough. You need cloud knowledge, AI component knowledge, architecture skills, prompt engineering, agentic AI, and coding knowledge if you fully want to understand what's going on. Maybe it's a bit overwhelming, but you just have to start and everything will come to you. Now is the moment. As fast as this field is evolving, if you haven't started already, it may already be too late. So think seriously about starting this journey as soon as possible. Chances are that in 2 or 3 years, somebody with the skills I just mentioned will be able to do what your complete team is doing, if not more. And that's kind of a disruptor, right? And that's it. I want to thank you for listening to me. I hope this presentation has resonated with you and sparked some new ideas. Thank you so much. If you find my thoughts and ideas interesting, you can follow me on Twitter, LinkedIn, or even check my LinkedIn courses, which I have these one on semantic kernel, one about to be published on Azure AI, and working on a new one on AutoGen. You can also meet me at the events I organize, such as .NET Zurich and Global AI Zurich, sometimes hybrid, in person and online. And again, it has been an absolute pleasure to be here with you. Thank you.